What we want to know is if we collectively want to solve the problem. If the answer is no, we want to be absolutely certain the answer is no. If it's yes, let's get to fucking work. But technically speaking, we are live, okay? Okay, so we are at MacArthur Mall, July 7th, 2025. Who do we have the pleasure of being here with today?
Dan Nathan.
Dan Nathan. So Dan Nathan has already shared quite a bit about his life. He has complimented us about our hustle and our drive and our honesty. And he's also been very transparent about his journey with cancer. Is that something you care to share about?
Yeah, but first I'd like to just comment briefly. Mm-hmm. I think it's really great how you interviewed the homeless.
Okay.
And to find out what the issues are. And you also try to, once you find out different things, what do you try to do any steps to help, or is it
So here's the thing. I'm not really in a position to help per se. I just
awareness?
I wouldn't even say awareness. I just deeply value human connection. And I think that no matter who a person is, no matter what their situation is, they're a human being. And I would love to help every person on earth, but I recognize that I don't have that capacity. So right now I want to connect with as many people as possible, and that directly translates to my goals and my ambitions. So that's what I'm doing.
And I really appreciate your answer explaining what you do, and you didn't go overboard and try to say you saved the world, but you try to make a difference.
Right.
You try to connect with people.
So to be clear,
which we really need. Yeah, go ahead.
As much as I appreciate that beautiful compliment, we do want to impact the world. We do want to impact 7 billion people, and we have a plan, an actionable plan that we take action on every single day. But as far as helping the homeless, it's something that I wish I could do efficiently and at scale. But I don't see a way that I could leverage my skills and my resources to do that. But I do have a way that we are going to affect 7 billion people with, and we're going to do it.
I think that's great, especially in this world today where there's so much turmoil, lack of connection, anger, fighting. The world, it's in turmoil now. Throughout, so it's nice to hear your objective of connecting and get,
What do you think is the source of this turmoil? What is it?
It's, I think people on some level have an innate, they look to argue or to. When people have differences, people do not know how to handle when people have differences.
You know what I think it is? I think people don't even understand what these differences are.
Correct.
And I say this quite a bit. It's a recurring theme in my podcast. But I believe there's a desperate need in the world to understand itself. I think it's wild that entire countries can believe that another country is their enemy when they've never met somebody from that country. They don't even know what language is spoken in that country. I think it's absurd, and
I think I really have no reason to compliment because I just met you.
Right.
But I think you articulated beautifully, and I think also the leaders, a lot of times of the different countries, create their power by having friction among different nations, different people, and then
friction, ambiguity, fear, separation, division.
100%.
That's exactly what's contributing to all these issues, and I can't wait to see it solved.
And I think bringing it to awareness. I think through your podcast, if you talk about it and get people to try to, just through the word, you don't have to go in of how people should try to at least get to know the other person, get to know the differences. We're all human.
Okay. I have a very interesting question for you, my friend. I'd like to say sir, actually. I have a very good question for you, sir.
Yeah, you don't have to say sir.
What do you think is the most impactful issue that could be solved with the least amount of resources? So one quick announcement. My name is Levi, and I do not self-promote any product or any service while I interview a guest. Every 10th episode is going to be a full episode dedicated to self-promotion. So if we've earned your attention, please check it out.
You're talking about people-wise, or which?
In general, I would like to say people, but let's talk about it at a global scale. The biggest and most impactful issue that could be solved relative to the amount of resources needed to accomplish that goal.
Well, on your premise, all the resources needed, I want to go back to the concept. I don't think a lot of resources per se are needed. If a way we could bring people together and get to know each other better and break down the stereotypes we have of other people, other places. So the resources are internal inside of us that we could, if we could get people to talk. Actually, just get a group together. I mean, I always thought about getting a group together. People in different countries, different places. It could be people that are
Diverse.
in the countries that are fighting, and bring them into a group and have them just sit there without uniforms. I think a lot of times, it's great to have a uniform for basketball or for hockey, but armies and they come in there just go swimming together, be without all their the costumes and the protections, and
All the BS.
all the BS.
All the stuff that we pretend to value.
100%.
All these things that don't even matter.
And I'm saying be naked, but not naked physically. Be naked with this, hello, my name is.
Exactly.
And without all the protections we put on ourselves and the fears of being able to say, hello, I'm so-and-so. So when you talk about resources and you talk about, sure, I mean, if you had millions of dollars, what could you do if people still aren't getting to know each other? So I say the resources are getting people to say hello.
Okay. So I think you're going to love this. I really, really do. Do you want to tell them what our main project is, our A1 focus is?
This means water?
Yeah, This Means Water.
Say that again. I want to understand.
We have a documentary that we're filming called This Means Water. And what we're trying to do is connect 7 billion people. We believe that it is absolutely absurd with all the resources we have that we don't have an auxiliary language for us all to be able to speak.
We don't have
an auxiliary language. And I think it's absolutely absurd that if I don't know if you speak another language, but if the average person from America went to China and they broke their leg, they couldn't say, help, I broke my leg, please call my wife. And the same thing if they went to Saudi Arabia or they went to India or they went to
all these things, translation things, that you could speak and it could actually...
Right.
Or is that different?
Well, number one, I think that's great. So these tools are fantastic and I don't want to demonize them, but they are reactive. They, no matter how fast they are, no matter how good they are, and I'm still not demonizing them, but I do think it's only going to be reactive. And
so
we
what
could.
Are you suggesting? I want to hear.
I think that we should have a foundational issue, and I like to compare it to like let's consider it a boat, right? Let's say we're trying to cross the Atlantic Ocean, and we're comparing this problem to bailing water out of a boat. You could have AI or translation.
Correct.
You could have a very efficient way to get the water out. But what would be better is building a boat that didn't fucking sink. You know what I mean? So we're going to build a foundation for communication. And
how you? And I'm trying to understand.
Oh yeah.
Because foundation for communication sounds good.
Oh yeah, we have a plan.
And I'm not doubting, but it's almost like.
We have a plan.
What is more of a definition, foundation for communication?
A foundation to make a decision. What has been lacking from every movement trying to unite people on this is a framework to make a decision. Because there have been linguists that have tried to develop and promote and have a prescriptive answer to these problems, saying, hey, learn this language. If we all learn this language, we would be in peace and harmony. And those have all failed.
I just think they'll fight in the same understanding each other.
Well, what we're doing by creating a framework for decision making, we're doing a symbolic movement. So we're trying to get the entire world to agree on one singular sign for the word water.
For the word what?
For the word water. So we're going to multiple countries. We've been invited to probably about 10 different countries to go speak to people that speak endangered languages. And we are trying to get people to say, hey, we want to create a framework for decision making. We want people to agree on a sign for the word water. And we're choosing a sign rather than something written or spoken because there's so much room for debate and criticism there. Every written and spoken auxiliary language looks too much like another language. It looks too much like a European language, or it looks like Arabic, or there's no way to create any written or spoken language that can actually encompass all of these languages and be simple enough for the whole world to learn. But
and again, I'm pushing because I want the few people listening.
Push harder.
So I'm going to push, and maybe I'm slow, but I still want more of a definition, and I'm not, I'm pushing.
Push.
If everybody, I think when you use like a general term, you want people to all understand, water. I don't, I'm still not there.
Okay.
And not that I'm disagreeing, I don't understand. Are you saying you want people to all be able to speak the same language? Are you saying
I do want people to adopt an auxiliary language. So if two people meet that don't have the same native language, they fall back on one that is an auxiliary language. And the thing about it is we need one that's going to be easy and simple to learn, that doesn't have all these ridiculous, absurd irregularities of another language, because we have what it takes to either adopt one that exists or create it with the technology that we have and the resources that we have. The reason that we're focused on sign, for example, are you familiar with sign language at all?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know it, but I understand what it is.
Well,
it helps people that, who are deaf be able to communicate.
But even if someone has never studied sign for a day in their life, you know exactly what this means, right?
Right.
And you know exactly what this means. And there are hundreds of signs like that. And there's not a language that exists that has that visually intuitive nature.
But you think, I'm getting deeper now.
No, we're getting deeper.
Do you think, so they have the same signs, they have the same, let's say, the sign language.
Yeah.
And you're saying that's already an established thing that people communicate. They all have the same thing.
So,
but it's still the action of people. They could have the same language. They could have the same but if people's inner self, if they still have the same language, but they're a different color, if they're a different religion, if they're a different country, they're speaking.
That's you're touching on something I really love.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, number one, and this exactly what you touched on is the reason it's failed every other time. Every other initiative like this that has happened, they've pushed for, it's going to make everyone love each other. It's going to solve for unity. But the problem is that may not be the case. If 7 billion people decided right now to learn the same language, the amount of hate that the world would have to endure is something that the world has never experienced before. Right. They almost need to be prepared for it. So what this is...
Yes, you hear what I'm saying? So I'm with you now.
What this is us asking the world. So we're not assuming that this is going to work or not work. What we're doing is we're asking the world. We're saying, hey, we have every resource we need to connect 7 billion people. Yep. What we want to know is if we collectively want to solve the problem. If the answer is no, we want to be absolutely certain the answer is no. If it's yes, let's get to fucking work.
Okay, and again, I'm pushing you.
Push harder.
Okay, I still am not disagreeing, but I still don't fully understand. And if I don't understand, I'm relatively intelligent. Mm-hmm. So I still hear you saying I want people to have the common language. I want people to have the same type of signs to understand, not have all these different languages and different dialects and different... But how does it... So let's pretend we had a magic wand and we all speak the same language. We could all do sign language. We all understand what water means. We all understand what love means. But if you don't change the essence of human being and leadership that are riling up people so they could have power, they need strife. They need people in conflict. That's how they garner their power. So with your idea of having the same language, the same understanding, I don't tell the people to say screw you in the same understanding each other.
Okay. So
you have to get rid of the source of you're remedying the end. Okay, let's have people speak the same language. I'll speak even in a radio voice.
You're absolutely going to love this.
You hear what I'm saying? I mean,
I beyond hear it. It's something I've deeply...
over here?
I've deeply studied this.
But am I making sense?
Beyond making sense. Let's get to this, okay? Let's get to it, right?
Yeah.
So I believe that outside of survival on an individual basis, communication is the most foundational need for society or civilization to exist, period. And it hasn't been met at a global scale. So I'm not saying this will be the remedy that will cause a solution to world peace and wars and all that. I'm not saying that's the case. What I'm saying is we have a foundational need that hasn't been met, and it's fucking optional. And I want to see if the world wants to make the decision to fix it.
Okay, so I'm pushing. What is the end goal? So we got everybody talking the same vibe, the same language, the same common. Where are we at?
So you're gonna love this.
You mind me doing this?
God! I'll push harder. So here's the thing. Here's a good question that'll really answer that question in a meaningful way.
What I see is people who talk the same language and saying screw you in the same language.
So number one, I like to say this too. If we get to that point that you're saying, we will be closer to having a more connected world than we've ever been in human history. I think if we do that, that is a massive accomplishment that we shouldn't overlook. But beyond that, to get to your question, to your answer, I want you to perhaps think about, do you remember the name of our project again, the name of our documentary?
I forgot it.
Do you remember what the word was that we're trying to get everyone to agree on?
Water.
Water. Why do you think I chose water?
Because everybody could relate to water.
Everybody can relate to it. I believe that it is a foundational need, right? Remember, because I said outside of survival, communication is a foundational need. But I believe if we resolve this foundational issue, we would be better positioned collectively as a society to tackle these issues like access to clean water, access to food, access to safety. And I believe
so it's
that
more than language. It's getting concepts.
Language
in itself isn't going to, in my opinion, it's understanding concepts of what war is, of understanding what hatred is.
Yeah, there's no camera.
There's no camera.
You can record that if you like.
Oh. Where do I go for a second?
It's no camera. But what was I about to say?
Brief interruption for
yeah, sorry, we may or may not be kicked out from MacArthur Mall. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Can you call Stacy for me? Just give him a call.
Should I turn it off?
No, you're good. You're good.
Am I going in the? Am I with you? Or am I this kind
Oh,
of?
you are perfectly getting it. So we're not trying to say that this is going to solve war. This is going to make everybody love each other and understand each other. But we're saying it's a foundational need. This needs to happen whether we like it or not. Because how can we accomplish anything? Think about all the issues we have. I think that the foundational need is that we can't understand each other. I mean, look at how many people believe.
I'm jumping in.
Yeah,
I'm jumping in.
Just
dive in.
in.
Saying I'm getting. I look at it in addition to what you're saying. I think once you get people being able to talk communicate on the same language, the same understanding, then you got to get the people together to talk, not just have the same language, not just be able to talk with water. We all know what water is. And by the way, when you have a movement, you can't. It's too vague sometimes. Well, we have water, and everybody understands what people are. You're going to lose people. Most people have ADD. Most people have, I want to get people together once they could speak the same language to talk. Why do you hate me? Be real. Be real. The same language without taking a step further for people to connect with the same language.
So here's the thing.
Agree to disagree.
But to take a step further, we have to have a foundation. What I'm saying is we don't have a foundation. So my goal, my life goal that I'm dedicating my life to is to create a foundation because we don't have a foundation.
A foundation
so
to create the same...
A foundation that would solve the most foundational fundamental need for society to exist. It hasn't been met.
To communicate.
Yeah. What could we accomplish collectively?
But you're doing it with the language that they talk, basically the same understanding of language. I want to take that and have a group with these people. This is what I do for... You have a group of people that then come together and then now that they understand what water is, what meaning water represents, the right terminology, they won't be misunderstood between different cultures. Yep.
Right.
You have people talk to each other, talk about the differences, talk about their perceptions, take the language and the understanding of your mission and bring it to the next level. That people could communicate, break down the barriers, talk about why I hate you. Why are we, what are we fighting?
We said we can't record voices.
Oh.
Okay. I guess we can end it here. Let's chat sometime soon. How's that sound?
Okay. Question is, did I screw up for you? Or?
You did excellent, brother. You did absolutely excellent.
But you hear what I'm saying though?
And not only do I hear it, but I appreciate it, respect
Do me
it.
the biggest favor in the world.
What's up?